All right, welcome to Sarah Homework. My name is Sarah. Today we are reviewing the Lizzie McGuire movie. Today with me I have Megan. Go ahead and introduce yourself and yeah.
Okay, hi, I'm Megan. I'm friends with Sarah, and we were friends for a couple years now. We go to Disneyland all the time together, and I also am obsessed with Lizzie McGuire and Hilary Duff. It's kind of like a part of who I am, so I'm glad that I get to do this.
Yes, which is why I'm super excited that you picked this movie for me to review with you, because this movie has such a big impact on girls our age growing up, because Lizzie was so relatable. Like, she's such a relatable character. She's so amazing. Let me read the synopsis about what's going on in this movie really quick. Lizzie McGuire has graduated from middle school and takes a trip to Rome, Italy, with her class, and what was supposed to be only a normal trip becomes a teenager's dream come true. So I said I was gonna sing, but now I'm like totally gonna chicken out. But it's fine, because
We can do it.
We totally can. Okay, let's do it. Okay,
I just like the part where it goes, dreams.
Like, dreams.
This is my dream. Okay, oh, we're awkward. See, I knew it would be awkward.
It's perfect,
it's okay.
though.
We did it. We just did the only important part.
We just did it.
McGuire booty.
Literally, where you just like rip the dress and now it's pants. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, I love it. So like I said, we're talking about how Lizzie McGuire means a lot to all of us growing up as girls. For me personally, I was really, really obsessed with Good Charlotte growing up, because I was always a punk rock princess. And it surprised me when the scandalous news came out about Hilary Duff dating Joel and all that crazy news and everything. And I was just like, wow, like, what two different people dating each other, and obviously the scandalousness of like their age and everything. But it really was like brought these two people together that I both loved, and it just, that's what Lizzie McGuire like brought to life for me. Because yes, the show is amazing. Yes, I had an annoying little brother like Lizzie, and it was very much something I turned to because she's so relatable. And we were all awkward teenagers. Like, we all were there. We've all been there. And Hilary Duff is amazing. Like, you follow her now and she still kicks ass. She's still a rock star. She still is amazing. Like, I compare her to the amazingness of Kelly Clarkson sometimes. Like, they both still rock and they still are amazing. I remember talking to you when you were getting ready for this, and how you actually got to meet Hilary Duff. I have a photo. Let me show it. Yeah, I think it's so great when we actually get to meet people like Hilary Duff, because celebrities like them, they truly surprise us with how amazing and nice they are. Like, look at this. And she's just as excited to meet you, and the smiles are the same. Like, literally, like, you want to talk a little bit about meeting her? Do you remember like what you said? Do you just remember how excited you were when you met her? Like, talk a little bit about that. And then also, I'm going to throw up a photo of the amazing opportunity you got to do with cosplaying as Lizzie McGuire at the end of this movie. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, tell me about when you met Hilary Duff.
So I was 13. That was like the peak fandom of Hilary for me. It was a radio station contest, and they were doing it like over the course of a week. You just wait, and they'd ask a question, like a trivia question about her, and you'd call in. And I remember I called in and actually got through, and my mom came in, and I was like, Mom, like, I'm on the phone, please leave me alone. Like, and then they hung up on me because I was being dramatic, and I was like, you ruined my opportunity to meet Hilary Duff. And then the next day I actually got through, and I was able to answer the question. And I think it was something like, who else has Aaron Carter dated or something, and it was Lindsay Lohan, obviously. And so when I won to meet her, and have lunch with her among like other like maybe like 5 or 10 people that won too. I was just screaming. I was freaking out. I ran to my mom, and then they put that part on the radio, and it was like actually like really embarrassing. I was like, oh wow.
But that's what they
Yeah,
love. Like, yeah, definitely keep on going, because that's excitement that sure like reflected into beating her.
yeah, yeah, she was my number one idol. Like I was obsessed with her. I was obsessed with Lizzie McGuire. Like she was my everything back then. I mean, still kind of, but anyways, so I asked my best friend Kayla to come with me because she was also a fan, and I don't know, she was my best friend at the time, so I was like, yeah, I should bring you because you got to bring a friend. And my mom took us out of school early, and I got to go get my hair done. And I remember I wanted pigtail braids, which I don't know why, but I was annoyed because the person put like a band here and then pigtailed my hair and then a band here, and I just felt like it looked too like rigid, but I didn't say anything. Yeah, I wore my favorite BB shirt. I wore the necklace like she wears. That's like the knockoff Tiffany's necklace. And yeah, it was really fun. I got to sit really close to her because we got there the earliest and just ask her questions. I remember my mom randomly like at the salon bought a toe ring and was like, you need to give Hilary Duff this toe ring. And I was like, okay. And so I gave her the toe ring, and from then on, I always wondered, like, anytime she showed any kind of interview in her room or any kind of thing, I was like, I wonder if the toe ring's in there. But yeah, I remember, like, for some reason when I was a kid, I was really curious about, and I'm still curious, they never said in the show where she lives. Like, even Stevens, they said they lived in Sacramento. Like, I just was like, where do they live? And I always assumed it was, like, Southern California, but they never said that. And so that was going to be my question that I would ask her because, like, you know, you got to go up and, like, talk to the person for like 2 minutes and then take the photo, this and that. And so I chickened out for some reason. I don't know why. And I just was like, do you do your own tumbling? And I knew that she did. Like I was obsessed with her. So she answered it and she said yes. And I was just like, and I don't know, for some reason, I really wish I would have asked that question because
a great question.
Yeah, because it's like I would have known this information. It would have been like, you know, like, or I could have stumped her. I think that was what I was afraid of her being like, I don't know. I think at the last minute, I was like, I'll just ask her one that she like can answer easily and not like stress her out. But anyways, like I gave her the toe ring and we took the pictures. The only thing that like that moment like will live in my memory forever, luckily. But I kept those like, you know, it was a disposable camera and we got it developed right afterwards. We went right there to. I think it was Longs at the time and got it developed, and like I kept that along with all the autographs I got from her because she just signed everything and anything you wanted her to. I remember getting autographs for all my other friends and giving them to her. I kept that in this box and I still have the box, and it's the box where I keep all my other photos from that time, you know, anything with a disposable camera. And for some reason I took them out and I took that picture of a picture. I just took it on my phone like 10 years ago. And I don't know what I was thinking, you know, when you like have something in a place forever and you think like, oh, let me put it into this different place because that's a better place for it. I lost everything. I don't have any other photos of that time. I don't have any of her autographs. I don't have like the CD she signed. I have nothing except for that picture of a picture, that low quality picture. That's the one thing, like I've been searching for it forever. Like I look in that box constantly thinking maybe it'll just show up there again because I still have it and I still have everything else that was in it. And I'm like, why did I ever like get it out? I think I got it out when I was planning to move. And so
you know what? That's the great thing about memories is we hold them with us and they're always with us. And that's the great things about creating new moments that keep Lizzie McGuire alive. And, you know, I was talking about earlier about the cosplay you did, and I want to share that. And it's so amazing and so intricate because I love how you did it to the T and made sure that you included Paolo in your cosplay and made sure that if it was without a doubt people didn't understand, well, they were gonna, because you both were there. You want to talk a little bit about you know, where the idea came for cosplaying as Liz McGuire and Paolo together? You know, what was the reaction when you reached out to your friend to be Paolo? Like, talk a little bit about that and how your love for Disney trickled down into cosplaying and going to Disneyland and talk a little bit about that, and we'll jump into our questions about the movie.
Okay. I have the shirt right here. I remember specifically asking the seamstress to not have it show my belly because it wasn't super secure, but I think she did a really cute job of like
So nice.
adding that for me. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I was watching Lizzie McGuire movie, I think 2018, and I was just like, you know what? Like, I know that I'm going to Mickey's Halloween party with my roommate Joanna, and this is what I want to do. Like this, like without a doubt. And so finding a seamstress felt like how am I gonna do that? Like, how am I gonna afford it? Like, what's gonna happen? But this is like my dream costume, like my dream everything. And so I went to a shadow cast for the movie Clue, and I dressed up as Miss Scarlet, and I luckily was able to find like a really cool dress that matched her dress perfectly. So I won like the costume contest for Miss Scarlet, and I went on stage, and there is this person named Vic Knives, and they do a lot of cosplay. They made their dress and everything, and I was like on stage literally as like they were talking about somebody else. I was next to her, well, them, and I asked, do you like Lizzie McGuire? And they were like, yes. And I was like, do you think you'd ever, like, could I pay you to build me like her costume from the end of the movie? Because that's what I want to be for Halloween. And she was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard. Oh my gosh, yes. And so I added them on Instagram, and they were able to do that. It was really cool. It was a really fun process. I was able to go and get measured, and then like, you know, do like try it on and ask for different things to be done to fix it. It was just a really cool process because I've never done anything like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, originally with my roommate, I wanted her to be Isabella. Like I thought that would be cool because she had dark hair, but that was just too much work. You know, like it was like I'm the one who wants to pay someone to make me a costume and go that far into it. And so then I had the idea for her to be Paolo, and she was down. Like she was like, nope, I like that. That's easy. I just have to get a boy wig and a shirt. And she just very much was like, that's fun. Like I want to be a dude. And then she kept commenting throughout the night how hot she was as a guy, and that was funny. But yeah, like definitely like people recognize me, and then they saw Paolo and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, but they like she was alone as Paolo. Like it would be hard to know who that was. So us combined definitely made like, because I'd like just be walking through, and because you can trick or treat at these parties, and she would go through first as Paolo, and someone would be like looking at, just be like, and then I would go second, and they'd just like, wait, like, are you Lizzie McGuire? Was that Paolo? And I was like, yes, like, got it. And it was just like every millennial in the world knew, and it was just so much fun. What was so funny is the night before Halloween party, Hilary Duff was there, and with her son, and I was just like, why didn't we go to that one? Like, could you imagine me running into Hilary Duff dressed as Lizzie McGuire? Like I'm like shaking thinking about how funny that would have been, and how fun that would have been, because they have like a dance
would have collided. It would have been so great. Oh my god. It's so great cool. Though.
Yeah, she's awesome. I don't think she would have been weirded out by it. She would have been like excited.
Yeah.
I just know that she would have been. And so
especially how Joanna was such a trooper and had such a good time being Paolo, and that really reminds me so much of Gordo being the ultimate best friend in this movie. And I kind of want to discuss our thoughts on Gordo's sacrifice and how he's like the ultimate BFF in this movie. And I really think personally, yeah, the movie's about adventure and, you know, falling in love and like, you know, meeting that like really hot Italian guy and like, you know, basically the Italian dream. But I feel like I want to make sure people recognize Gordo's friendship, and which I know turns into, you know, the kiss at the end, and which, you know, the season goes on after this movie. But yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I think Gordo is an amazing character. I think it's funny that, of course, that was her Lelaine, like basically Miranda's character. She turned down to be in this movie because of her music career. It's like one of the trivia things I looked up. But I'm glad. Well, I don't even know
career. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know she like sung, but yeah, like I am super happy though that she like wasn't in it, to be honest, because just Gordo deserves that payoff. And that's what I loved about this movie, is getting that closure. Like what are your thoughts about Gordo, like his growth as a character in this movie?
Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. I need to hang that up. Who the heck? I think, well, it's like, especially like, yes, he made the sacrifice by going home, and saying that he was the one sneaking out, and that's wonderful. But I think the sacrifice that he makes, because he's in love with Lizzie, like it's the whole season 2 was like little hints that he was in love with her, and he still encouraged her to go out and have fun with Paolo and see what it's like, because he knew that would be good for her and she would enjoy it. So, you know, he was obviously not jealous in that, like, I'm gonna try and keep her and like don't do that kind of way, but it's like he loved her, but he let her like do her own thing.
Yeah.
And that I just think is so kind, so sweet. Obviously he got kind of like, he didn't trust Paolo, you know, as it kept going. And so he was trying to like help her out of that situation, not because he was in love with her and he didn't want her to be with Paolo. It was because he wanted her to be safe and not be bamboozled by this Italian guy who, like, what was the line? Like, shines like the light from the sun. You know, and it's just
yeah.
Oh my gosh, Hilary's Italian accent. But yeah, no, I just, Gordo was a champ during this, and I'm so glad that they got their little kiss in the end. And back then I was in all Lizzie McGuire forums, like I was a part of them. I stand hard, and I mean, it's she was supposed to go to high school, and Miss Ungermeyer was supposed to be a teacher there, and she's supposed to go to high school with Gordo, and we were supposed to see like the next steps, but they couldn't come to terms with her financials, getting paid, because they weren't wanting to pay her enough. So unfortunately that never happened. And it was like heartbreaking, because to this day I'm like I want to know what, like, them talking about, like, I want to know if she got like popular by like being an Italian pop star and all this stuff, or if it was just the same and, you know, everything went back normal. Like, I've always wondered that, and that's why the reboot was like the biggest and most exciting news for me. And I really sincerely, like with every part of me, hope that they work that out and can bring it to Hulu so they can show her as like a normal 30-year-old. Because like we grew up with Lizzie, like I'm the same age. Like it was supposed to come out this year, and Lizzie was supposed to be 30, and I just turned 30 this year. So
yeah,
I don't know. Like the moment that news comes out that they've worked it out, it'll just be, yeah. I want that reboot so bad. But anyways, Gordo,
we want more for sure. Yeah,
and
Gordo
Adam hasn't acted since Lizzie McGuire literally was coming back in the reboot. Like, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like show me Lizzie and Gordo as 30-year-olds. Like tell me they get together in the end. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's, yeah, but yeah.
I get it. I totally get it. I get it, because that's what I think is so great about this movie is it helped the characters grow. It gave us closure with Gordo and Lizzie about, you know, with the kiss. And that's why I really personally, I think the movie lives up to the TV show. And
yes.
you know, because, you know, a lot of times, especially with Disney Channel movies, like sometimes the qualities in the bars are very low sometimes, just because they just like to make them really quickly. And sometimes they just don't put a lot of heart into this and into any of the Disney Channel movies sometimes. But this was the age of golden Disney Channel movies. Smart House, like Blank Check, was that Disney? Yeah, like, and I thought a lot of heart went into this movie, and I definitely think that this movie like lives up to the TV show. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, totally. And it's like this was the first, I think, I'm pretty sure, Disney Channel show that made like a full-length feature film that went into theaters. And that just showed, the range that and like how big this show was at the time, because like even Stevens, I think, had a movie.
Yeah.
Different little shows had their movies, but they were on Disney Channel. And it's like being able
Yeah.
to make a full movie, go to Rome, like that's expensive, for a movie
It's
to
a big
do.
movie. Yeah.
It was a huge movie, huge scale, and they filmed everything on location. It was gorgeous. Like me as a 13-year-old, I've still never been to Rome, but it's like like being able to throw a coin in that Trevi fountain, and just like if I ever go to Rome, like I will do the Lizzie McGuire tour of Rome. Like I want to go to all the places. I want to dress like her. Like I know it's a part of me. But yeah, I saw that movie opening day. I saw it 4 more times in theaters. I remember the pacing of it was a little bit different than the show, but obviously as a feature film, that's gonna happen. But watching the show, I was able to watch the show on YouTube for a long time, and now that's on Disney Plus, I've obviously rewatched it again. I post little like snippets of it constantly when it first came out, and would like tag everybody in it, and like Hilary Duff would view it, and like Jake Thomas, the brother, would view it, and Lelaine would view it, and that was really cool because I was like, they know like all the things I think about it, because I was so obsessed with even the timing of the show, and how I knew as a kid that I was like, this doesn't feel right. Why are they talking about this like 3 episodes later, and then before they're talking about something else? Like they aired Lizzie out of order completely, and it was really
Weird.
confusing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, even like the pool party episode, which I think is like episode 4, that's one of their tie-dye. That's actually the pilot. And so me as a kid, I think I was like 11 when this came out, I was so confused. I was like, why does this feel like the first episode? Like this feels like they're introducing people, like. And so I was like, on my computer and search all the forums and realized that they were airing in order. And
yeah, they didn't get you. They didn't get you.
They did not get me. And the reason that they did that is so that they wouldn't have a final, like it wouldn't feel like it was ending really for kids. Like they would just be like, oh, like blah blah blah, because they aired the last episodes out of order. And it frustrated me so much because the finale was like Bye Hillary's Junior High, and they aired that like maybe like 7 episodes before the ending, and it made no sense. I was like, this is the end of the show. Why are you still airing random episodes? And I think, they would air it out of order also so that like Miranda would get in there every once in a while, even though she wasn't there for the last episode. She would pop in and out. So it just, I don't know. They were trying to like.
That's
so
good trivia to know, because I actually didn't know that. We could actually keep going in the vein of trivia, and I could share a couple things I found. In case you didn't miss it, folks at home, animated Lizzie ends the film Tinkerbell style, and that's generally used in most Disney media over the years. And I didn't know that. I had to go back. I didn't realize.
I don't think I ever, like, I think I like got that she was trying to be Tinkerbell, but it never like really triggered in my brain like that.
Like, cool. In case you missed it, folks. Isabella's singing voice is actually done by Hilary Duff's sister, Haley Duff, and is dubbing over her sister's voice, which I think is cool. This is my favorite. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Her voice is also weaved into Hilary's What Dreams Are Made Of, and you can tell when it's Hilary. Yeah. And then you can tell the high notes, like how it just changed a little bit. It gets like a little nasally. That's also Haley. I don't know why they did that. Like it was, at least they could have auto-tuned Hilary, because it's weird. Like it just goes like, her like simple cute voice, and then like, nah, and it just
like
the dream part. That's Haley.
Yes, this does bored.
I noticed that as a 13-year-old. I was like, why does your voice keep changing? This is so weird. But yeah, they did that. I don't know why, but go on.
It's weird. But my favorite, you're going to get a kick out of this. It's not really like a fun fact, but it's just like funny. When Lizzie first meets Paolo and a fan gives her a wheel of cheese, right? The cheese is labeled, I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm not even going to say it. But the cheese is a very expensive type of Parmesan. And the wheels often weigh around 70 to 85 pounds and can cost up to $2,000. So, See, a girl with some cheese. But yeah,
she just like gives it to Gordo, and he's
like yeah, those are some really, oh my god. I'm really, really glad we went over some trivia and we can jump into answering our favorite parts now. We're gonna do favorite character, favorite scene, and least favorite character, because there's always a couple in movies. And then we're gonna grade it. So my favorite character actually was this Miss Ungermeyer. Is that how you say it?
okay.
I Miss Ungermeyer and Giorgio the concierge at the front of the hotel, because I love what they brought to the movie and made it different. And like I love how she was powerful. I love how she like basically like her and Sergey have like a thing basically, and I think I like that exchange. I like that Giorgio basically like is that great comedic relief too, on top of like cartoonish Lizzie McGuire's like subconscious inner monologue. But I think Giorgio's hilarious because at the end when he takes the blackmail and he's like, no, and he just like throws it in the fountain. But what are your favorite characters? That's pretty hard, but yeah.
I mean, Giorgio isn't one of my favorites, but I love when he's like, she needs 2 apricots. And then Angmara's like, does that like help her digestion? She's like, they're in season. Like, I don't know, that was funny. But it's like, obviously, Lizzie McGuire is going to be my favorite character forever. I could talk about her for the rest of my life. But she was pretty selfish in this movie. So I'm going to move on to, like, my favorite character development in this movie, and something that just really made me happy was Kate. Kate Saunders in this movie. She just really grew as a person. You could see in the show, going back and forth, how kind she really was to Lizzie, how they did really used to be best friends. But it's like her not ratting her out, basically it's like Lizzie was living like the dream. Like she was living everything that any girl, especially me watching this as a 13-year-old, would want, like going to Rome and, being like a pop star and, having people take pictures of you and like meeting a cute guy and all this stuff. And she obviously was jealous. She wanted that for herself too, but she didn't take that away from Lizzie, which is something she would have done had her other friends been around, like Claire. I don't know, she's just so nice. And there's just something like, even as a kid, even now when I was watching it when I was doing my makeup because I've seen it 100 times. But just like when she sits, like when the family comes in and Ethan comes in, everybody, and Kate's already there and Ethan goes and sits next to Kate. It's so sweet that like, I don't know, that Lizzie got her tickets to get into that award show and she wanted to go watch Lizzie perform. Like, I don't know, I just really thought that was sweet. And just at the end, like the insinuating that her and Ethan were going to get together, and her eating the carbs. Like, I don't know, I just really loved her character development throughout.
It is good. I love how Gordo's like smart, but evil, but smart. Like, yeah, definitely. That's funny that you bring up Kate. She's actually my least favorite character. But you're not supposed to like her because she's the popular, like, mean girl. But yeah, Kate was my least favorite character. Besides
in this movie,
Paolo being in the movie. Okay. Kate was my least favorite character. Besides, it's between that or if Isabel's terrible accent was a person, then that's my least favorite character. But who's your least favorite character?
Paolo, duh.
Yeah.
Sneaky rude boy. The actor is named Yanni Gelman. I constantly, for some reason, bring up Yanni Gelman because it's just so ridiculous. Because they couldn't get like an actual actor to play him. Yeah. But it's just like he's just so annoying the whole time, and he always feels like old. Like I don't know if he's supposed to be like 16, 17, or 18, but it creeps me out. He's like 14. Yeah,
you're like middle. He's like, yeah, he's only 17. It's like what?
I don't know. It's like he feels old, and he just creeps me out. And just him trying to like, which it would never actually work. Like trying to like embarrass Isabella. Like Isabella to come out and be like, "That's not me. Like I'm me here, and that's a different person." Yeah. Like it never worked. But I mean, I hate him like the whole movie. Like I don't trust him and everything. And the part where he actually like is bad is probably the most extreme part for me because like when he's singing and he's like so bad. I find that really entertaining.
I agree. I think he's terrible. Like, he's just like, the way he treats Lizzie, or he's like, no, you have to do this. You must do this. And it's like, chill out. Oh my God. Oh my
just
God.
like, yeah, he's like, I will be singing live. So that's why I'm not, it's just like, no, Beach, no, like
No.
you.
What a
So,
snake, for sure. And I mean, that scene you brought up about, you know, when he finally gets outed and, you know, they finally, his fans see him for who he, see his true colors and see who he is, is definitely a good scene. And that's part of one of my favorite scenes, because it's just like, haha, like, there you go. But my favorite scene is actually the fashion show, when Lizzie is going through all the outfits and stuff and discovering how she's like, no, this isn't me. And then Paolo's like, yeah, we know it's not you. Like, but it's just ridiculous. Like, the light dress, the only dress with the light dress, the igloo blow up dress, the only dress I did like was the grunge black looking one that the dog pulled apart. But really, yeah, it just makes me really realize that I'm glad I'm glad, even though she was fooled by Paolo and, you know, his smolder, that she still stuck to her roots of knowing that she wasn't going to be forced to wear what someone else was going to make her wear, which I thought was really nice. And I'm glad she stood up for herself. And that's my favorite scene, besides her falling at graduation. But what are your favorite scenes? One or two of them.
That's right. I obviously love the fashion show scene. That's like my next ultimate dream, is to be the igloo. And that would obviously be really expensive and a whole thing. And I'm like, how would I bring the igloo to Disneyland for their party? Because that's like where I like to show off my Disney costumes the most, because people like
6 feet, you know, igloo.
Yeah. I'd be like 6 feet apart. Like, hey, I'm like literally that. But I love the outfit repeater line. Like at the beginning with graduation, like that's iconic. And let's see here, love the fashion show. I like pretty much anything with Kate and Lizzie, because I don't know, it's just like their friendship growing. I don't know, it just makes me really happy. But my favorite scene, without a doubt, and it used to, it doesn't make me as much, but it would always make me like cry, because anytime there was like a performance or something musically that like really like overwhelmed me, I would cry. Like, I'd be so happy that I would cry. And I still do that with things, like get the tinglies, is to just like be a pop star and be able to perform and be that amazing. And she just is so good, her dancing and just the whole everything, like, the dress, the skirt to the pants. It just makes me feel so good, because it's like, oh my gosh, like this is such a big deal. Like, she gets made fun of at school, because I wasn't really popular in middle school, and I got made fun of, and I had bullies, and and I still was like a normal, cute, like girl. Like, I wasn't like, there was nothing wrong with me. I wore, it was kind of like Lizzie, where it was like, you're just like a normal girl,
so
and
relatable.
you don't really have nothing to get made fun of for, but people are still making fun of her. And so I just really felt like that. So just for her to have that big moment as a 13-year-old, it was like that, oh my gosh, if I ever had that moment myself. Yeah. And when I was like doing my makeup during the movie, I was like, when the scene came on, I was like, okay, I have to stop. I have to watch this whole thing, because it makes me so happy. It's like iconic. It's the whole dream. So, and that song is amazing. And I got to, at Disneyland, when I was dressed as her, I went to like the dance party, and the DJ put on that song, and I got to like dance and sing to it and be her. And I kind of had a little version of that moment. And it was just really fun for me, because dream come true. And it's like, if I ever make another crazy costume again, I'll probably wear this one like 3 or 4 more times for Halloween, because it's just so good.
So what would you grade this movie? A, B, C, D, E, F?
A+.
A+. That's good stuff. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I definitely would grade this movie A-, just because of the bad accent. But that
makes it iconic for me.
banger soundtrack. Like, what? The locations are beautiful. They're amazing. She's amazingly relatable. Great comedic relief in so many different characters. In it's just the pacing's great. You're never bored. Like literally, it's just this larger than life Disney Channel movie, and it's just packed with so many great quotes too. This movie has great quotability, so amazing. Literally, if I was a middle schooler and I had to pick between water slides or Rome, I'm Team Rome. Like
Rome, the Eternal City.
No one exactly.
No one read the
as we start to wrap up here, I really just want to thank you, Megan, for doing this with me and letting me share your love for Lizzie McGuire, because like I said earlier, Lizzie McGuire is such a relatable character, and it was almost like Harry Potter for boys their age. Like, we grew up with Lizzie McGuire, and she was like our person to be relatable with. And I'm so glad that we're able to bring her back and remind people why Lizzie McGuire is great. I love every time we go and play in the park and people go, "What the hey, you have a Lizzie McGuire backpack," because it never went away. The love never went away. And people, as much as they forget about Disney Channel movies, this is the one that stuck. And that's why I'm glad I got to review this with you. And the love for Hilary Duff is, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
I mean, she's still, that's the thing, is she's never, I mean, besides like, you know, dating Joe Madden when she was 16, it's like she just hasn't had a scandal. She's so unproblematic. She's such a good mom. She's so kind. She, you know, has companies that, you know, do, what's the word I'm trying to think of, non-chemical, like diapers and baby products, and she gets sales. She sends, you know, baby products to people who are in need. She talks about feminine hygiene products constantly, like not putting chemicals in your body. She just is so, she's a queen. And she's, I don't know, it's like every single time I see that she's like posted an Insta story, I'm like immediately like, what is Hilary Duff up to?
We want more.
She's been so amazing during the pandemic, you know, wanting people to wear face masks, doing PSAs about that. She's just a queen. And I do want to point out this frame picture of Hilary that I have. I didn't do this. My friend gave it to me for my birthday as like a joke, like, here's a frame, but I printed out Hilary and you can, you know, put whatever you want in it. And my birthday was in February and it's still Hilary. And it will probably always be Hilary because I don't know, it's funny and she's just a beautiful queen, and
she's just a role model. I wouldn't want anybody else to be framed in my room. It's almost like, it's like when Jenna Marbles framed a picture of Jerry Seinfeld for her dog. Like, it's literally great that we have people like Hilary Duff to look up to, and we'll always just keep on shining. And I'm so thankful we have Lizzie McGuire. Definitely, this is going to wrap up this Lizzie McGuire movie review. You guys can find me doing movie reviews Wednesday, Thursday, and I post potato facts and question of the day on Monday and Tuesdays. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Megan. You're going to see so much more from Megan because she's my Disney buddy too. So Megan, you want to sign off and tell everyone bye and keep loving Lizzie McGuire.
Yep, literally.
Bye.
Keep loving Lizzie McGuire, keep her in our hearts. Yeah, I'm Megan.
Bye guys, this is Sarah and Megan reminding you to stay weird.